Hey everyone, welcome to Area 616. So I recently did a video on 7 characters who I think will die in Avengers Infinity War. And you guys seem to like that one, so I decided to do another similar one that I've been thinking about for a while. Characters who I think will die in Phase 3 as a whole, not just Infinity War. So without further ado, let's get started. 5. Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This one's kind of obvious for a couple of reasons. For one, there has been absolutely no talks of Michael Rooker returning for Infinity War when you have everyone from Pom Klementieff Mantis to Tom Holland's Spider-Man there. But also, it just makes sense for the story. Yondu is a sort of father figure for Star-Lord, and with Ego coming in as his actual father, it just kind of makes sense for him to go out in this movie. Although I wouldn't expect Ego to make it out either if I were you. 4. The Shocker in Spider-Man Homecoming. This one might seem a bit unexpected. Some of you might have not even known Shocker was in the movie, but he is. And he is played by Bokeem Woodbine. Now, I don't expect Spider-Man Homecoming to be weighed down by death, just because it looks like it's going to be more upbeat and all that. But a lot of you would probably expect the Vulture to be on this list, but there's 2 reasons he isn't. 1, he's a villain. Marvel almost always kills their villains, their only exceptions being Nebula, Loki, and Zemo. So I'm not including any villains on this list, as it's more or less a sure bet. But the real reason is I don't think Vulture is going to die. Reason being, I feel like Marvel is going in a very specific direction with Spidey, or at least I hope they are. What I'm thinking is this will introduce Vulture and he'll just get locked up or something, and then Spider-Man 2, which is coming in 2019, maybe that'll introduce Kraven or Mysterio or something like that, and would take place in Spidey's junior year of high school. Then we go to Spider-Man 3, probably in 2021, which is in Spidey's senior year, and we could see Spidey fighting the Sinister Six during his graduation. That's personally where I see this going. From there, he can go to Empire State University and so on. There's no way to be sure, of course, but I personally think Vulture will make it out of Homecoming alive to be in Graduation Day. Regardless, I do think the Shocker definitely won't survive. In fact, it'll probably be the Vulture who kills him. 3. Almost everyone in Thor Ragnarok. A lot of people would probably put Loki in this spot. However, I kind of doubt he'll die in Ragnarok. Personally, I see him giving the Tesseract or something like that to Thanos, because as you remember in the Avengers he failed, which means Thanos is still after him. So this would be a peace offering, and Loki would join Thanos in Infinity War, taking a similar spot to Mephisto in the Infinity Gauntlet comic. And he'll probably have some kind of plan for himself. So that's probably where he'll die, is Infinity War. And while the name Ragnarok would ensue that all Asgardians die, I predict Loki and Thor will make it into Infinity War. But it is possible that everyone else will die, including Odin, Heimdall, Sif, Fandral, Hogun, and Volstagg. Although it is also likely that even if the Asgardians don't all die, Odin almost definitely will. Number 2, Ramonda in Black Panther. You may not really recognize her name right now, but she is the mother of T'Challa, the Black Panther, and following superhero movies' usual pattern with paternal figures, I don't think she's going to make it out of this one. In a way, it's kind of poetic. T'Challa doesn't really want to be the king of Wakanda, and it's likely he goes to his mother frequently for advice. Her death would be a way to force him to step into the role of king. Number 1, Hank Pym in Ant-Man and the Wasp. So we don't actually know what Ant-Man and the Wasp is going to be about. We know so little I almost excluded it, simply because there's only 4 characters we know for sure are returning. Ant-Man, Wasp, Luis, and Hank Pym. But I included it because the character I think will die is among the few we know to be in it. You might be sensing a pattern of sorts across Phase 3's deaths. Aside from Homecoming, this is how it goes. T'Chaka and Peggy Carter in Civil War, the Ancient One in Doctor Strange, Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Odin and/or the Asgardians in Thor Ragnarok, Ramonda in Black Panther, Nick Fury and Iron Man in Infinity War 1 and 2, and Hank Pym in Ant-Man and the Wasp. And then if I were to take a stab at Captain Marvel, I'd say the Kree warrior Mar-Vell would die as part of Carol's origin, officially giving her the name of Captain Marvel. But you see what I'm saying here? Phase 3 is essentially the passing of the torch. This is when the mentors and the people who started it all die. This is when the new generation, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Black Panther, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and Captain Marvel take over from the old. And really, even Homecoming fits in a way with the implied death of Uncle Ben, even if we do not talk about that ever again. The point is, Marvel's using Phase 3 to set us up for a new generation of heroes. So I'm expecting to see a lot of old ones go away. But in any event, that was everyone I think will die in Phase 3. Let me know if you guys agree or not in the comments below. Okay, so we just hit a huge milestone. We just passed 50 subscribers. This is just huge and I cannot thank you enough. But in any event, thanks so much for everything, you guys. Thanks for watching and commenting and subscribing and all that. And I'll see you all next time.